Hi everyone, today we're going to take a look at the Baron Receiver Link. This is a digital antenna and it's ideal for digital TV boxes like the ABSCBN TvPlus. And of course, aside from digital TV boxes like this, if your TV already has a built-in digital receiver, then this is the kind of antenna that you would use. Now, before I go any further, let me address the elephant in the room. Why am I outside and why is it dark? Well, firstly, why am I outside? Well, this antenna performs much better outside. I mean, the same goes for the original ABS-CBN antenna and for pretty much any antenna really. If you put it outside, you're going to get better reception. So I've come outside to do my testing. Why at night? Well, during the day it's going to be so busy with people coming and going, so much background noise, etc. So it's really easier to do it at night, although it is a little bit difficult because look at this setup I've had to do. I've got like this little TFT display here, this little 7-inch display. I've got the TV box from ABS-CBN and I'm running it all from a battery. So trust me, this has taken a lot of setup and I've spent a lot of hours out here testing with different antennas because aside from this one, I've also got a bigger one which I'm going to show you later. So aside from the antenna itself, which you can see here, you also get a 10-meter coax cable, and this whole thing is rated for outdoor use. They include some zip ties so you can mount this to a pole and it's fine to be out in the sun and the rain and everything like that. The TvPlus one isn't really rated for outdoor use, so usually if people use these outside, they might put some silicone around it or they might put a cover over the top. And of course the wire on the ABS-CBN TvPlus antenna isn't designed to be replaced, so it's not as long, which makes it a little bit more difficult to put it outside. Now let me start by saying this is not a bad antenna. The antenna that they include is very, very good. There's really no complaints about the antenna. It's well built, it receives, a strong signal. The cable is fairly long. It's not as long as 10 meters, but it's still fairly long. And if you already have a really good signal, you're probably not going to see much difference changing over to this Baron antenna. But where you will see a benefit is if, for instance, you've got a TV with a digital receiver built in and you don't have any antennas, you might want to consider this. The other one is, let's say you're just on the outskirts and you can't quite get a signal. This antenna with the TvPlus box is omnidirectional, which means it evenly receives a signal from all directions, whereas this one from Baron, it is omnidirectional in the sense that it will receive signals from all directions, but it's more directional because if you point it specifically at the tower, you're going to get a better signal. And I'm going to show you that now, because if I just plug this in and show you, you won't see much difference between these two antennas because I'm quite near a tower and I get really good signal. Even I could probably stick a coat hanger in there and I'd get a good signal, to be honest. But where I do see a difference, and where you'll be able to see a difference in a minute, is if I want to pick up ETC or 2nd Avenue, those two channels I can't normally pick up with this antenna because the tower that's broadcasting that is in Ortigas and it's quite far away. Whereas with this antenna, if I point it towards Ortigas, towards their tower, I can pick up those channels. And one of the things I hear all the time from people is like, oh, I have the TvPlus box, but I can't get this channel, I can't get that channel. And a lot of people assume like, oh, it's ABS-CBN trying to block out competition or something like that. And most of the time, or as far as I know, like all of the time, that's not the case. It's really just that your antenna can't reach the tower that's serving those specific channels. So yes, let's go ahead and show you this in action. Now, I know the screen is really small and I do apologize for that, but I couldn't realistically bring a big TV out here. It just wouldn't be practical. But right now I'm on ABS-CBN channel. If I go up, sports and action, and I'm using the antenna that they included, and you can see everything works okay, all the different channels. Again, I do apologize, the screen is a bit small, but you get the idea. But if I go down to 2nd Ave on 37 for me, it says E48 no signal. If I go down to ETC, it will say the same thing. E48 no signal, and I can move this antenna around, and no matter where I move it, I just can't get a stable signal. And I'm going to move it around off camera, and I'll zoom in on this so you get a better idea of what's going on. So right now I'm moving the antenna around off camera, and if I get it just right, we should be able to pick up something. In fact, let me put the signal on the screen so you can hopefully see that. There you go. And you'll see that it drops in and out because it just can't latch onto the tower. But I am going to keep moving it around just to try and get something, because occasionally I'll get it to go on, although it's very, very rare. So you can see I get blips of signal every now and then, but it's really not, it's really not stable. It can't get the channel and it just doesn't work because the tower's just too far away. And now I'll swap the antenna out for the Baron Receiver Link. So I've now connected the Baron Receiver Link, and you can see again we have no problems getting the ABS-CBN, sports and action, all the regular channels that I can get even with the included antenna. And if we go down to second ad, for example, you'll see at first it won't work because I do have to point this towards Ortigas. So let me try and point it correctly. So as you can see, second ad is playing okay, and if we go down to ETC, that should also work because it's from the same tower. Now I am moving a little bit, so that's why it's cutting in and out, but there you go, you can see it's playing smoothly. I might have to zoom in on the camera so you can see it from all the way over there, but I'm just holding the antenna, and you see if I move this, breaks up the signal, you lose the signal. So it's directional, and it can get you extra channels if you're missing channels. If you already have a really good signal and you've got all the channels, then the ABS-CBN antenna that's included with the kit is probably good enough already. But if you've bought a new TV which has a digital receiver built in, you're going to need an antenna, so you might want to consider this one. If you bought another digibox, some of them come with like really wimpy antennas. Again, you might want to consider this one. I am going to show you indoors under good light what this looks like, because I know you're probably watching this video saying, well, it's so dark, we can't really see anything. So I will take you inside and show you this. But for one last time, I'll just swap back to the original ABS-CBN antenna and just show you that I couldn't receive those two channels. So I've got the ABS-CBN antenna plugged back in, and you can see it's just blinking on and off again because this just cannot get the signal in my area. See, I move it around, I hold it up higher even, and it just can't do it, just can't get the signal because I'm just too far away. So yeah, now I mentioned earlier in the video that I've got another antenna, and I want to show you that now. I'm not going to really do a review of it right now, but I just want to show you it. So this is the extended range antenna from Baron. This is the big boy. This is what you're going to use if you're really far away from the transmitting towers, and this can pick up both analog and digital signals. So if you've got a TV with a built-in analog and digital receiver, you can actually have the best of both worlds. If you're using a digibox, then of course you'd need to use like a splitter or something like that if you also wanted analog channels. But this is really for those who are really struggling to get a signal, a digital signal especially, and they want to get a signal. And again, I've spent, like, you wouldn't even believe how many hours I've spent messing around with these antennas, comparing them against the ABS-CBN one, trying different channels, different frequencies, its signal strength, blah blah blah. And again, I'm going to say, oh, in fact, I don't want to spend too much time talking about this, but if you're interested in this antenna, leave a comment below and give me, your comment, and we'll decide if we're going to shoot another video about this. So now let's go inside and take a closer look at the antenna under some good lighting. So now we're inside, you can take a better look at the antenna. You can see here it says Baron receiver link. They've got their logo on there, and it's fully enclosed because this is meant to be used outdoors in the rain and the sun, everything like that. And this is where it would mount your pole, and they include a couple of zip ties to secure it. And this is obviously where the coax cable goes. Now, I've seen some people where they've connected the coax cable and then they put some kind of sealant around this. I don't know if that's really required or not, because when I see, for instance, Sky Cable install their wires, they don't put anything around it as far as I know. But just something to mention, that I have seen some people have put some sealant around this. And of course, like I mentioned, you do get 10 meters of coax. It's got these crimped connectors, one on each end. And yeah, I mean, there's not too much to say about it, to be honest. It's a coax cable, 10 meters long, so you can easily mount this, outside, somewhere up high, to get the best signal. Now, I want to say this is not a miracle worker. If you're like in some far-flung province and there's no digital transmitter tower around you, it's not going to work. You have to have some sort of signal nearby to point this at, some kind of tower. But if you're just on the fringe of like nearly being able to get digital TV but not quite, or you're missing a few channels, something like that, then this might be the antenna for you. Or if you bought a digital TV, or sorry, a TV that has a built-in digital receiver, then again, this might be the antenna for you. If you're really far away, you probably want to check out the other antenna that I showed earlier. So if you have any questions, put them in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching.